We're back! And we've fraudulently made you believe that this is two separate videos when we really recorded it all at once! You're drunk as hell.
One shot. Welcome to part 2 of the Justin G. Dick Cinematic Universe.
We moved our couch for this shit!
Today we are going to be talking about Justin G. Dick's children's movies, and particularly his children's Christmas movies. So we have 3 movies we're going to be covering for you guys today. We have My Dad is Scrooge, we have 48 Christmas Wishes, and we have Operation Christmas List. So we're gonna...
I'm glad you introed them because I don't think I remembered the names.
Since the last movie we talked about in part 1 was A Puppy for Christmas, now we're going to talk about another movie featuring animals, and that is My Dad is Scrooge.
Let me tell you guys something about Christmas, okay? The one day of the year that everybody forgets about their fiscal responsibility.
But this Christmas...
Dad, what are you doing?
He's foreclosing on the farm. Hey there, buddy! Whoa!
with the help of a holiday miracle.
Hi, we need to talk. You need to convince your dad to let us keep our farm.
How do you expect me to do that?
With this?
We use the story to help your dad find his Christmas spirit.
And some special friends, they'll find a way to save the holiday.
Everyone know what to do?
Good to go!
I am the ghost of Christmas past.
I'm the ghost of Christmas present.
Hi, Bee.
Ghost of Christmas future?
I'm here to show you what your life would be like if you keep up your ways.
And recover the Christmas spirit.
Now, Savvy, you know what A Puppy for Christmas didn't have?
What didn't it have?
Talking animals!
Yeah, they didn't have talking animals. Like, if you're going to ADR the barks, why not just ADR some dialogue?
Why not ADR some dialogue and do some really lazy thing where you kind of make the animal's mouth go like...
Like every other movie we've watched so far, My Dad is Scrooge starts off with some voiceover narration.
Of course!
And
Justin G. Dick can't resist.
So the main premise of My Dad is Scrooge is that there's these 2 kids and their mom is putting on a play of A Christmas Carol at their school. And
With tiny children, which,
with tiny
if
children.
you've ever seen children put on a play, that's about what it's like.
And honestly, the acting quality of the children in this movie is not really much better than the acting quality of the children in their school play.
Everyone know what to do?
Good to go!
So,
In fairness, it's not that much worse than the acting quality of the actors in all of Justin G. Dick's movies.
to be fair, it's about on par of all the children actors in all of Canada.
Hi,
Get dunked on, Drake.
The dad is, a businessman who's very into profit and money. So the kids will be in the car with him and he'll be like, kids, Christmas is a time where we need to remember to be fiscally responsible so you don't put yourself into debt. And the whole time I'm thinking so you know how kids will rebel against their parents by like in America you're not legally allowed to drink till you're 21, so kids will get drunk. When they go to college they'll start binge drinking because they're rebelling and they weren't allowed to yet. In Canada they can drink when they're 18, so they don't have that problem there because that's one of the ways that Canada is better than us. So these kids, when they go off to college, they're gonna start making bad investments to rebel. They're gonna go to college and they're gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna be fiscally irresponsible. I'm gonna take out credit cards. I'm gonna destroy my credit because my daddy wouldn't let me.
Scrooge Dad's name, by the way, is E.B.
Stands for Ethan Bradbury.
I'm Ethan Bradbury.
Oh, it's Ebenezer Scrooge. So, Scrooge Dad's business partner is... What's his name?
Manny.
Manny.
That's
Definitely
also
not
a character on Degrassi.
Have you ever known a girl who got a boob job? Or is gonna?
This Manny is his ex-business partner who's bad with money and he loves charity. And he's kind of a stand-in for Jacob Marley, but not really because he's generous now. Mm-hmm. And the animals convince him that he's dead and is now a ghost. It's like that episode of South Park where Cartman thinks he's dead. Like, he goes around and he's, like, messing with people and, like, touching people, and he thinks no one can see him.
That's exactly what happens here, is the kid is just like, oh, it's okay, he hit his head.
Like, they go in ahead of the guy entering a coffee shop and say this to the patrons, and the patrons all play along with poor brain-damaged Manny. Manny is played by the writer of the film.
He's played by the writer, and
What's his name?
Keith Cooper. Keith Cooper is the writer for a lot of Justin G. Dick movies, including this one, and in the movies that he writes, he often plays one of the side characters as well. So
Often one of the most eccentric characters.
yeah, so he's
Keith
wonderful.
Cooper is not afraid to get down and dirty. He's not afraid to make a fool of himself.
And he kind of looks like Snake from Degrassi.
Anyways, Keith Cooper, what a guy. Of everyone in this movie, he feels like the only one that's trying.
He's trying so hard, too.
And, you know, it kind of makes you like him in a way. Like, he's acting like a complete dingus, but he is acting his heart out. He is not an actor, but he is trying so hard, and he is not afraid to be a wacko. So, good on you, Keith.
Good on you, Keith. Keep it up. Next, let's talk about the bullies in this movie.
Bullies?
Yeah, there was
I don't remember most of this movie.
So there's some bullies in this movie. There's this guy named Daryl who's like the king of the bullies. And these are like bullies straight out the 1950s. These bullies like show up at the main kid's house and they've like drawn a caricature picture of him and they like bleh. And
They're like holding it up at his window, aren't they? They're like
Yeah.
holding a picture of him.
And it's like not even that unflattering of a picture. They're just not very good artists. So the talking animals decide that because the bullies are so mean to this main kid by like drawing a bad picture of him and doing almost nothing else, that they're gonna get back at the bullies.
They're gonna mess those bullies up.
They're gonna mess them up.
The talking animals who just met the kid like a day ago.
They lure Daryl,
my God.
the king of the bullies, into a bathroom stall by saying that there's a wallet in there with a lot of money. So
They lure Daryl into a bathroom
They
stall.
lure him into a bathroom stall, and while he's in there, they confront him as their talking animal selves. They circle around him in the bathroom stall as talking animals chanting, "Stop being a bully! Stop being a bully! Stop being a bully!" And I'm like, holy shit, these animals are bullying Daryl way worse than Daryl ever bullied the main character of this movie. Like, they are psychologically damaging this child.
Daryl wasn't even that bad of a bully.
He was
and here,
just kind of a
talking
goof.
animals like an evil goat is telling you to stop being a bully in a bathroom stall.
So the next time Daryl sees the main character, he just runs up to him and goes, "I'm sorry, I bully because I'm socially awkward." So do you want to talk about the dad's office in this movie and the fact that it's a house?
Ah, yes. It's a Justin G. Dick classic. An office that's a house.
So then basically the movie continues. They do the Ghost of Christmas Past, Present, Future thing. For the Ghost of Christmas Future, they have to knock the dad unconscious to get him to the school play so that he can see his kids being sad about how he's neglecting them. They get John Heder from Napoleon Dynamite to voice this hypnotic rat.
I talked to your dad, make him feel all warm and fuzzy.
Seriously?
So I want you to just sit back, relax, and listen to the soothing sound of my voice.
After the dad sees the error of his ways and decides to become a better person, he suddenly decides that, like, oh, I'm gonna save the farm. But he doesn't save the farm through, like, oh, well, I'm just gonna be nice about their money that they owe or anything like that. He saves the farm by deciding to inspire them to become a non-profit, which they could have just done in the first place.
Like these farmers did not tell the dad that they were helping sick animals on their farm.
Like, they just acted
So-
like they were so offended that he was foreclosing on them
But
when
they
hadn't paid
had
their,
been defaulting on their
they'd been
loans for
defaulting
like
on
a
loans
year.
for a year. And now they're like, oh, how could you do this? They never once tell him what they do there or anything like that.
Right.
He just has to see, because the talking animals showed him that they were taking care of sick animals.
One of the sick animals is this tiny little puppy, and when the dad sees that puppy through the window, he's like, is that puppy gonna survive if we foreclose on the farm? And the talking animals are like, I don't know, he might die. It's clear, Tiny Tim illusion. The very end of the movie, is the little puppy who only was there for that scene.
Hasn't said a word
He
on
hasn't
screen.
said anything. He hasn't said a word on screen. We didn't even know this puppy could talk because he was not blessed by Santa like the other
He wasn't
animals.
there when the other animals were
wasn't.
given the power to
But
speak.
the very end of this movie is that tiny puppy just popping up and going,
God blesses everyone.
Kill me.
Transitioning from the talking animals of My Dad is Scrooge, we are now going to move on to the non-talking dog of the movie, 48 Christmas Wishes.
I would like to say, in the notes for this film, Savvy wrote, talking puppy. There is no talking
The
animal
dog
in this
doesn't
movie.
talk in this movie.
There's no talking animal, and these notes were taken before the other movie. I don't know what this means. These notes are very drunk.
To be fair, yeah, I was really drunk when you wrote these notes.
Christmas wishes were delivered to the workshop with care.
Each one of these wishes comes from a human. It's their happiness in our hands.
You're stepping on that human's happiness.
And all of those wishes
Hey, Sammy, heads up. Come on, it's your turn.
would be lost in a flare.
No!
To save Christmas,
We just lost 48 wishes.
they'll have to come to our world.
Excuse us. Are you actual elves?
I don't think so. That's impossible.
You guys don't know much about humans, do you?
To remind an entire town what Christmas is all about.
This video brought to you by Stillhouse. They don't sponsor us,
But they should.
they sure did bring you this video.
The 48 Christmas Wishes is the story of a young boy and girl whose dad died 6 years ago, and they think their dad died yesterday. So
I don't really know how to properly emphasize this.
because, like, no, okay, I understand if you lose someone in your life who's really important to you, like, that can mess you up for the rest of your life. And I totally understand that because I have lost people in my life who are very important to me.
100%.
100%.
Understand.
But there's a
loss
difference.
is hard. Loss is hard.
Oh, yeah.
Loss is hard, but
There's a difference between having lost someone really recently and having lost someone a long time ago.
They make it feel like he died a year ago. At the most, and it has to be a year because they're very upset about Christmas specifically.
Yeah, so it really seems like it's this family's first Christmas without their dad. So the main girl in this movie is this teenager, and she's really moody all the time. And she, like, refuses to talk to everyone, and she's like, Christmas is stupid.
Christmas sucks.
Christmas sucks.
She's like acting like the mom by trying to celebrate Christmas is like, oh, you can't replace dad.
6 years after your dad dies, if your mom does anything, it's not necessarily related to your dad's death. So
Dogs
like
are
the mom
nice.
like went to the grocery store and brought some bacon home, and the daughter was like, "You think bacon can replace dad?" I'd like to apologize for the reduction in quality real quick. My camera started pooping a little bit, and we were too drunk to fix it, so now we're filming on the phone.
So, to continue on, I guess just like the idea that 6 years later someone would still be coming up to you and saying, you know, are you okay? Which happens in this movie. Somebody comes up and says to the mom, how are you doing? Are you doing okay?
Like, I'm so sorry for your loss.
I'm so sorry for your loss. Someone coming up to you 6 years later and doing that, that's crazy. That's absurd.
So weird. Like, if you died, I would be so weirded out if people did that.
Right. If you died, perish the thought, I would certainly hope that my friends and family were not approaching me and saying, God, how are you doing? I know Savvy died.
That'd be so weird. But this movie has an entirely separate plot.
Where Santa's canonical and elves are canonical.
Well, Santa was canonical in My Dad is Scrooge also, remember, because Santa gave the animals the power
Right,
to
but
talk.
he was off screen. This movie has elves. The elves are played by children. Children are terrible actors almost all of the time.
Yep.
These elves, they hate their job. They work in the mail room at the North Pole. They work in the mail room. The elves are sorting the mail, and they start playing with the bag, and it goes in the fire, and it looks like bad green screen, and the letters go up in smoke.
When the letters to Santa get burned down in the fire, essentially those were the wishes that kids had for Santa on Christmas. So now Santa doesn't know what to give to this one Canadian town for Christmas. 48 of the wishes got lost, hence the title 48 Christmas wishes. They now have to go recover 48 of the wishes. So 2 of these elves go to Canada to interview the children and find out what they each wanted for Christmas so they can report it back to Santa. Individually. Meanwhile, at the North Pole, there's these 2 elf brothers who are doing a Fortnite dance.
Oh my god. And I don't want to talk about that very much because it sucks and is stupid. But they're like, oh, what are the kids like? They like the people doing the Fortnite dances.
How do you do, fellow kids?
How do you do, fellow kids? DAE, fellow
Fortnite?
kids. The elves hop in a mailbox because that's how you get back to the normal people world.
They teleport
into a mailbox, like a letters to Santa mailbox. They come out of it. They meet some kids. They go and they interview all the kids at the school in this crappy little Canadian town. And then they're like, oh, what's this last letter? I don't know. Turns out it's the mom.
It's the mom whose husband died.
The mom whose husband died wished that her kids could and her family could have a Merry Christmas all together and be happy for Christmas. And I don't know how the elves are going to grant that one, but that's the last wish.
So that's 48 Christmas wishes, which means we only have one Justin G. Dick movie left to review, and that is Operation Christmas List.
Some kids will do anything
Every parent in the country is lining up for the must-have toy this year.
for the year's hottest new toy.
It's all about this. Krabby Mousy, the angriest mouse around.
Grab your crew.
Good to go.
Put down the tools, Walt. Big day ahead of us.
Hey, Barney.
Make a plan.
Sneak in, grab a couple of dolls, wait for the store to open, and pay for them. We are not stealing.
And hope for a Christmas miracle.
We have the place to ourselves.
We have the place to ourselves!
Well. You are a thief, like me.
We're not stealing them.
We'll be taking all of the toys.
Kids are counting on those toys for Christmas.
Kids are counting on the toys for Christmas.
We're gonna fight. Pen, you want to cause some trouble?
More than anything.
Can't wait for Christmas and the lights on the Christmas tree.
Get the door!
I'm gonna call the police.
Nice try, kid.
Operation Christmas.
Oh no. This one is especially exciting because instead of being shot in a house, it's shot in a church basement.
Instead of being shot in a house, it's shot in a corn dog.
Instead of being shot in a house, it's shot in a community center back room.
Instead of being shot in a house, it's shot inside the teleportation mailbox from 48 Christmas Wishes.
Whoa! It's shot in a place that is not a store.
Yeah, so let's see. Let's go ahead to my drunk ass notes.
Oh my god.
112 lizards fucking. Operation Christmas List tells the story of a young man named Barney who's played by a kid who was in Taken. I'm not sure who he played in Taken.
Me neither. But he was in Taken.
He was in Taken.
Thanks, IMDb. Shout out to IMDb.
Shout out to IMDb.
Thoughts and prayers.
So 48 Christmas Wishes is a story about this toy named Krabby Mousy, which has just come out, and everybody wants to get their hands on Krabby Mousy.
I want to draw attention to the fact that Krabby Mousy is the fakest toy I've ever seen.
So Barney goes to the toy store, and the toy store security guard is played by none other than Keith Cooper!
Keith Cooper!
So Keith Cooper, the writer of My Dad is Scrooge. This is where we went really far down the Keith Cooper rabbit hole. We started looking into who Keith Cooper was. In this movie, he plays a security guard named Gus, much like Paul Blart Mall Cop. And we started researching Keith Cooper at this point. And we learned that Keith Cooper was not originally an actor or a screenwriter. So apparently Keith Cooper worked as a visual effects artist on a ton of huge high-budget movies until about 2008. And then after that, he just totally stopped working on all these movies and moved to working as an actor and a writer for Justin G. Dick. You know what I have to say for that? Good for Gus. Okay?
And you know what I have to say to that? Keith, Don't quit your day job.
No.
Too late, you already did.
No, I disagree. This is where Tyler and I are going to disagree, okay? Because I admire Keith Cooper for following his dream. I think it's amazing that this man was like, I'm working at this job on all these high-budget movies, but you know, this isn't really where my heart is. This isn't really my passion. I really want to act in movies. I really want to write my own movies, and Justin G. Dick has provided me with that opportunity, so I don't care that he's kind of a shit director. I'm going to do what I want to do, and I'm going to give it my all. He gave it his all as Manny. He gave it his all as Gus. Keith Cooper gives it his all, and that's why you can tell that this is where his passion lies. Good for Gus.
And they introduce the robbers.
So the main robber is played by none other than E.B. from My Dad is Scrooge.
The dad from My Dad is Scrooge is in this movie as a robber, and he's not just a robber, but he's a robber with a ridiculous accent.
Wheel, wheel, wheel. 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 Wheel.
Fiscal responsibility.
Kill me.
Like, it is the fakest, most ridiculous Russian accent.
You can't keep it up for more than like 2 words at a time.
Fiscal responsibility.
Get the door!
Fiscal responsibility.
Oh no.
Fiscal responsibility.
Wheel, wheel, wheel.
Fiscal responsibility.
We'll be taking all of the toys.
Fiscal responsibility.
I really want to draw attention to how fake this store is. 0 windows, it's got no cash register, it's got no checkout. It's literally a featureless room with a low ceiling and some fluorescent lighting, and they just put some shelves in it. And on the shelves, they put repeating the same product over and over on each shelf, especially Krabby Mousy, which is on a fake cardboard backer and does not look like a real toy. It is the cheapest movie you can imagine. This movie does not even do the basics required to make it feel like it's a real place. It feels like it's shot in a basement for $3.
Guys, I'm going to be 100% honest with you right now. We intentionally organized this video so that we would be really drunk by the time we got to the movie that we were really drunk while we watched. Because
it felt important.
Believe it or not, this was the worst of the 6 movies.
It was so bad.
It was so bad. Like, you thought Christmas Wedding Planner was the worst because it made Tyler throw a LaCroix can at the screen?
I thought that was the angriest I could be about the finale of a movie.
But this movie was just so bad because it was shot in a church basement or a community center or a corn dog or
whatever it was shot in.
Wherever it was shot, this movie was just so unbelievable. Like, it felt like you were like watching a group of freshman year college film students trying to make a movie.
But like, they weren't trying to make like a freshman year college student movie where like it's like they're trying to like do something clever.
Yeah.
It was a bunch of freshman year college students trying to make a movie with broad appeal.
Yeah.
But there was no budget.
It's like, what if a studio hired a bunch of college freshman film students to make a Christmas movie that was supposed to be a wide commercial appeal?
And gave them $4.
And gave them $4 to make this movie. Alright, guys. So that was the Justin G. Dick Cinematic Universe. I hope you enjoyed the fact that we delved into these movies. If there are any other movies you have suggestions of, please let us know. Please remember to punch that like button if you enjoyed this video. Please remember to just stomp on that subscribe button so hard because you want to make sure you're subscribed to our channel.
And pound on that bell like you're the town crier. And you're saying 4 o'clock and all's well.
Dude, this is going to be an editing undertaking.